Hi guys, welcome back to the Big Sew Along. I'm Jenny, and as always, I thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me. Today, I have a couple of things to go over with you. A couple of weeks ago, Red Bike Rider asked me if I had any tips for making bra-friendly spaghetti straps, like the ones I have on today. And I'll tell you more about that when we get to it, but I do definitely. And over on the Discord chat, there's been a little talk about using this really simple pattern. I think this one is called Blandine from I Am Patterns as a basis for some hacks. So I will get to that as well. Before I do that, I have timestamps below for anybody who wants to go straight to those things. I was out of town last week with my aunt and my mom having a little visit. My aunt lives in Des Moines, Iowa, and that's where we were. It was incredibly hot for June. It was like 93 degrees. Here's a picture of me and my mom. My mom is in the pink shirt. My aunt Jenny is in the white shirt. My aunt Jenny is not only the person I'm named after, she is my mom's younger sister, and we always have a really good time. My mom tried to teach me how to play cribbage. I love playing games with my mom. That's one of our favorite things to do together, but I'm not sure I really got the whole cribbage thing. Anyways, before I left, I had just enough time to whip up another pair of madrone pants. This time, right here, the black and white gingham that's got like embroidered pink on it, that is like a poplin, a really thin, crisp poplin. And the other black and white is just like a plain lightweight cotton gingham. Both of those fabrics came from Haberman Fabrics. I did shorten the pants again another inch from the last time. So this is a 26-inch inseam minus a total of 3 inches. So it's now 23-inch inseam. And again, for reference, I'm 5'3". And what else? I'm wearing them in this picture with my Vivian, Shao, Chen, Laurence tank, and I actually have a really cute pink top that I wore with these pants when I was in Iowa, but it's in the laundry, so I'm wearing it in these pictures with this white top. It also looks cute with the white top though. I don't think I have anything else to share with you about these pants. I think I told you last time I made these were size 8. Oh, I do. The last time I made these, I made the size 8, but I just used the drawstring around the waist. This time, I just used the elastic. Now, I have a casing, so I can put a drawstring in here. I was really pressed for time before I left town, so I just didn't have time to get my drawstring together. I really love these pants, you guys. They're super fun, and I do kind of want to make another pair. I'll probably move on to something else right now for a while, but I do really love these pants. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember what we were talking about, but Red Bike Rider asked me if I had any suggestions for making straps like these. So this is a pattern that I used for this little tutorial. This is the Matchy Matchy Sewing Club book, and this is called the Swing Tank. It is the one that's on the front of their book. And you can see it's just a bias bound neck, and then the bias bound armhole, and the bias continues around to make the strap. That is not very that is not very bra friendly. So I have a quick tutorial on how I made 1-inch wide straps for this. Okay, this is the swing top from the Matchy Matchy Sewing Club. And I've already bound my neckline and my armholes. I've left this raw here. It doesn't really matter because we're going to sew that right now. So I'm going to turn this inside out. Again, I have already established the length and width of my straps. They're 1-inch wide, finished, I think 11 or 11.5 inches in length. So this is a little tricky because these straps go off at a little bit of an angle. So I'm going to try to get them as straight as I can, which means like right here. And I want to put this strap as close as I can to the top of my dress there, but I need to sew it right where it meets the edges. So on this, it's going to be right here. right there. And you can see on the back side it's a little easier to see. I'm going to sew right where those meet. And then I'm going to do that same thing on all 4 straps, being sure to try to keep them as straight as possible. Once I get those all pinned down, I'm just going to run over to the sewing machine and sew them. Alright, so now we have something that looks like this on the back and this on the front. The key when you're sewing straps on, you guys, like this, is just to make sure that they're matching exactly with the edge of what you're sewing them to, so that you don't have that strap sticking out over here or the top sticking out. I hope that makes sense. Alright, so now you're pretty much done. All you have to do is decide what you want to do with this. You can just serge it off, press it to the back, and hand tack it down, or if you want, you can fold this under. I would still trim that. Fold that under, give it a good press, and then tack it down. For mine, I think I'm going to serge mine just because this fabric on the front is a little sheer, and I think you're going to be able to see just about anything. Alright, that's it. So I did try a couple of other ways to make wider straps. To be honest with you guys, this is the only one that's even remotely successful. The other ones were just a disaster. You can actually just draft a strap right onto the pattern, a wider strap onto the pattern, but because this is such a simple garment and I wanted to keep the integrity of that simplicity, I didn't want to get fussy with like facings and whatnot. So to me, this is the best solution. And I have to say, I'm really happy with the way they came out. And check this out, you guys. I finally made something that isn't too big in the armhole. Very proud of myself after many years of not doing that. Yeah, okay, what else about this? This is the swing tank from the Matchy Matchy sewing book. I just lengthened the peplum part, so there's a dress. I used the length of the fabric that I had. The other reason, aside from my straps, the other reason I'm really excited about this is because these fabrics were from 2 previous makes that had been sitting in my dud pile for a couple of years. I'll show you a picture of this stripy red fabric was from one of my first pairs of maxi pants from Allotment clothing. I'll show you a picture here. It's a little blurry because I had to screenshot it off my old video. But I literally never ever wore these pants. The other fabric here is also a really lovely, like, they're both like a really nice, a lightweight Indian cotton. But this one here with the little dots on it, I had originally made a, what was it? It was one of the tops, I think it was called the Lazy Top and Dress from Tropical Research. But this fabric is super lightweight, and I made that dress, A, I just made it too big, and B, I made it long sleeve, which meant that it was like a really weird thing for the sleeves were too much to wear when it's hot, and the fabric's too light to wear when it was really cold. It was also quite large, so it wasn't good for like layering over. Anyway, so again, I just never wore it, but I'm super happy that I got to use those fabrics again. Alright, and the last thing is, this came up over on the Discord chat a few days ago. We were talking about using this pattern from I Am Patterns, and I think it is called the Blandine, to do some, it's a really simple pattern. I'll show you some line drawings of it here. We were talking about using this as a basis for doing some hacks because it's so simple. And so there were a couple suggestions already over in the chat, but then I decided I would look around and see what else I could find that would be suitable for this, and I thought I would just share those with you guys. These are from random places on the internet, and if I can remember the names of the stores where I found these pictures, I'll list those for you guys below. Let's see. This one here is from Bit Kyrand. This is really similar to the dress version of the Blandine. I think it's a little bit longer, and it has a wider sleeve, but if you can see in these line drawings from the Blandine, that poofy sleeve you could just leave the binding off of that or the elastic or whatever they're using and let it hang straight, and I think you'd get something pretty close to this. This next one is also from Bit Rand, and I think this one is a little bit bigger, but you know, if you went up a size maybe. What I really liked about this though is this really cool side vent, this curved front and back hem, which I think you could totally do with that Blandine. I'm not sure, it looks like maybe they have a, I know, I think it's just a patch pocket on there. Anyways, what I really like about this is that curved side hem. This is like not even, I don't even know if this is worth mentioning. This is just something that looks exactly like it, only it's done in jersey. And that's a really cool use of that. I mean, they do say in that pattern it's for knits or wovens. But anyways, just like a boxy t-shirt like that. Super simple, but also really cute. This one, I feel like this is like a pin tuck in front with a little placket opening. It would be a more complicated make, but actually altering that pattern to make this would not be hugely difficult. I think this one is probably a little more fitted than the Blandine, but I don't really know that that's such a big issue. I'm more interested in that placket front and that little pleat at the bottom. Here's another placket version. This one they've just done like a placket that comes midway down with a button front. They did change the neck shape, so it's definitely not like a rounded neck shape, but I still think this Blandine would be really cute to just do a button placket. Rosie shared a make over in the Discord probably a couple of weeks ago now. It was a different pattern, but she did add in her own placket with a neck binding, and it looked super cool, which is just what I was kind of thinking of when I saw this. The next couple are just like super, like they're nothing hacky about it. They're just the same top. But I do like that these, like I like the way that they've used this bias binding on the stripe fabric to sort of contrast, which is really cool. And then also just this one with the like wider cuff here, I think is really cool. This one is also just an idea. I think you could use the Blandine to put a little slit front with a tie closure. I can't tell very well in this photo. I don't think this has gathering around the neck. I think it's just a tie closure, so that would be super simple to do. Changing the neckline to a square neck would be really easy. And then this one I thought was a great idea. If you made this shorter, like the version without sleeves, and put a little elastic, you might have to extend the sleeve a little bit, but it's totally doable. And I think that little gathered armhole is super cute. Alternatively, you could do something like this, where there's a little drawstring at the bottom, which I love. And then let's see, last but not least, I think it's my last idea. Yeah. Last but not least is just to do some color blocking. This one is definitely a different shape and style, but it's still a basic sort of square boxy top, and I just really like the way that they've done some color blocking here. I think that could be really fun. I know a lot of you guys already do that, and I love seeing the way you do that. I'm not actually all that good at that, as you can tell from my dress today. I did okay, but I know a lot of you guys, I see a lot of your stuff over on the Discord chat, and you're much better at your pattern mixing and matching than I am. So always inspirational. The last one is another sort of color block thing. This one, again, just has like a little slit open at the neck and a little button closure. All of those I think are really cool and fun ideas, and that, in case you're interested in giving any of those a try, that Blandine pattern from I Am Patterns is a free pattern, so go check that out. I will link that for you below. If you're interested in doing a sew along for any of those hacks, let me know that also down in the comments, and I will get right on that. Additionally, I didn't say this before when I was talking about the straps, but I will say now, if any of you guys have a better idea of how to make simple straps, like without including like facings and such, for a garment like this, like one that's just like super simple bias bound spaghetti straps, if you have a way to make bra friendly straps for that, please let us know in the comments, because I think we would all benefit from that. That is it for me this week, you guys. Until next week, I wish you all happy sewing.